Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'd like to invite you to take a look around, check out my playlist, and if you like what you see, then please subscribe. In today's DIY, you'll learn how to make these beautiful candle holders that I made using crushed glass and Dollar Tree items. So if you'd like to learn how to make these candle holders, then please keep watching. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be using this crushed glass that I purchased from Michael's earlier this year. I don't know if they'll be selling it in the bags anymore. They sell them now in like this little small cylinder type container. So you won't get the same amount that's in this bag. This bag weighs 2 pounds. I was lucky enough to get this ahead of time, so I'm praying that they'll keep this in stock like this. So we're going to be using this, one of these Dollar Tree bowls, and I have 2 of the cylinder faces. I have the tall one and the small one. I'm doing a different design on each face. Here I have a couple of the Dollar Tree Mod Podges. I prefer the gloss. I also have a paintbrush and this little container that I'll be using to put my Mod Podge in. And I'm actually going to swap out later and use a smaller paintbrush as well. Let's just get started. I'm going to start out with this one, so let's just put this aside. And here I have some crushed glass that I already have in the bowl, and I still have some in the packaging as well. Alright, so let's just pour some Mod Podge in this container. Not a whole lot. This is how I'm designing the candle holder. This is going to be the base, and this is going to be the top. Just like that. And I'm going to do the other one the same way. I already have an extra one of these that I've already pre-covered with some of the crushed glass, so we'll be bringing that in later. First thing I'm going to do is cover this one with the crushed glass. Now, I've had questions before about, can you use glue? And I'll link a video below where I use glue so you can see that it really works. It actually works better, but the fumes that came off the glue is really strong. I would recommend using a glue like E6000 or Fix-All. They will really hold, but as far as when I glue the 2 pieces together like this, I wouldn't recommend using Fix-All to glue glass together, if that makes sense. So yes, you can use glue to attach the crushed glass to your container. Just make sure you're in a well-ventilated space. I would actually go outside if I decide to use Fix-All or E6000. Or if you are lucky enough to have a mask, I went ahead and purchased a mask online. I'll leave a link below to where I purchased my mask if you're interested, but today I'm using the Mod Podge, so I won't need the mask. The first thing I want to do is to mix this up. One thing about the crushed glass is that there's some really small pieces in it. And those pieces adhere to the container a whole lot easier than the chunkier pieces. So as you're adding the crushed glass to your container, you'll notice you'll be left with a lot of the big chunks. So what I like to do, and I already have one open right here, I like to just refresh my batch a little bit. So I'm just going to put my hand on the inside and just brush this on. Now if you're having a hard time with the Mod Podge and you really want to use it, just apply it and let it sit for about 5 minutes. And that way it'll get a little bit more tackier. And when that happens, that'll hold the glass a whole lot better for you. But don't give up. Just keep, if you really like this look and you want to try it, then, just keep trying. Don't give up. Anybody can do this. Anybody. And I've had people to ask me if the glass has cut my hand before. No, I've never gotten cut by this glass. Never gotten a glass splinter or anything like that. And I've also had people ask me, well, why don't you just put the adhesive on there and then just dunk the container into the crushed glass? If you do that, you'll have a big old mess. It won't attach the same way. It'll just be sparingly all over the glue. And not only that, it gets on the other pieces of glass and messes it up. So do it this way. It's really easy, and you'll have plenty of crushed glass left over, and it really goes a long way. So as you can see, I'm just going around the top of it first. And I'll continue to add more Mod Podge as we go down. But yeah, guys, don't let it intimidate you. Just try it. It's just as easy as I'm making it look. It really is as easy. It's a little bit time consuming, but not a whole lot. And what you get in return is so much worth it. Continue to apply the Mod Podge and crushed glass until the vase is completely covered. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe off the excess glass up here because we're going to attach the vase on top of here. So I'm just wiping away all the excess glass from the very top. So I'm going to let this dry, and when it does, you'll see that there's a lot of open spaces. This is kind of sticking out. But yeah, you'll see that we have a lot of open spaces. So we're going to take a smaller paintbrush, go in with some Mod Podge, and add some additional glass to cover those up. So I'm just going to set this aside and get the other one that I did previously. Alright everyone, I'm back, and I have a smaller paintbrush, as you can see. And this is the one that I worked on previously. I went ahead and started adding additional glass on this side. So all you need to do is take your Mod Podge or glue and just search out those open spaces. And just dab the glue or the Mod Podge into those spaces. Now you don't have to do this if you're happy with those open spaces. It's totally up to you. But me, they bother me, so I need to fill them in. That's what I'm going to do. And just pour it on there and tap it down. And that'll help to get it in those little spaces. Alright, so I'm just going to continue to do that until the second layer is on, and then I'll let that dry. This is what it looks like after I applied the second layer of glass. So now I'm just going to set this aside and let this dry. Now I'll completely cover this vase with the crushed glass as well. As you can see, I'm simply repeating the steps that I did on the first piece. Allow the first layer to dry and then come back and add the second layer. When both pieces are dry, clean the surfaces before you glue them together. And here I'll be using the E6000. Put the vase on top, make sure it's centered, and then apply some weight until it dries. Once my candle holder was dry, I sealed it with some Mod Podge and water mixture, and I'll show you how to do that later. To finish off my candle holder, I need to add more crushed glass where I glued the two pieces together. I'm going to set this aside, let it dry, and then seal it with the water and Mod Podge mixture. So now I'm going to add a crushed glass to the taller hurricane vase. I used a crushed glass design on some wine glasses in a previous video, so I think I want to try it on this one. Let's just get started. I have my Mod Podge. Yeah, I'm just going to put my hand on the inside. We'll clean it later. And just start adding glue. It's going to be more like an icicle zigzag type design. I'm just going to take my paintbrush with Mod Podge and just go up. And that's what that'll look like. So now I'm going to take my smaller paintbrush and just shape it a little bit more. Like that. We'll come in later and fill in those open spaces. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to go all the way around, come back, and then we'll go on to the top. Alright guys, so I end up moving the design up a little higher. This is what it looks like so far. So what I'm going to do is come back in and straighten out some of the points if I need to, and then we'll design the top. Alright, so be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and the bottom part has completely dried. I'm going to go in later and fill in those empty spaces, but before I do that I want to go ahead and design the top. So let's just get started with that. Pretty much we're going to do the same thing, but I'm not going to go as low, probably about here. Now that I'm done adding the glass, I'll come back and make sure that all my peaks are pointed. Let that dry, and then fill in any open spaces, and then let that dry as well. Now that the crushed glass is dry, let's go ahead and attach these two pieces like we did before. Make sure that both pieces are lined up straight. Now add some weight on top and put it aside to dry. I've already used my Mod Podge and water mixture to seal the top part of the vase. So now I'll just show you how to add the mixture to the bottom part. You just want to soak your brush and then just mop it on. And make sure to cover the entire piece. The Mod Podge and water ratio is 2/3 Mod Podge and 1/3 water. Once this piece has dried, I'm going to come back and clean the inside and the outside of the glass. Come back and let you see what my candle holders / vases look like on display. And here are my completed candle holders. I think they turned out gorgeous. I used Dollar Tree candles along with Dollar Tree LED lights to light them up. And as you can see, they give off a beautiful ambient glow. These candle holders were inexpensive to make and goes with just about any style of decor. I'll definitely be using them this holiday season. Now on to the mystery box giveaway. In the very next video, I will announce the winner. What I'd like for you to do in this video is comment below what you'd like to see in the mystery box. This time I won't have 3 options to choose from. That's totally up to you guys. So comment below what you'd like to see in the mystery box. Okay everyone, this concludes my DIY for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. And don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.